Have you ever wondered why the universe is mostly dark? And when we look up into space, what we see are stars that are twinkling, just like fireflies in the night sky. Why are they twinkling? Are these stars really so far away from us? And if so, why don't we see them falling? And what colors do stars twinkle in? In this episode, we'll find out the answers to all these questions. Why is the universe dark? To answer this question, let's take a look at a candle flame. A flame is hot and bright. We can clearly see it during the day. But if we compare its brightness to the brightness of the sun, we'll notice that it's much dimmer. So the light that comes from the candle flame is spread over a large area, so it's not as noticeable. The same thing happens in space. Stars emit light, but most of the light that comes from a star isn't focused in one spot. It's spread out over a large area. So the light from billions of stars is scattered all over the universe. That's why the universe looks dark. But how do we see stars then? This brings us to our next question. Why do stars twinkle? As you know, light travels very fast, but it also travels in a straight line. However, sometimes its path can be distorted by certain media. For example, when light passes through water droplets in the air. When this happens, the light changes direction and bends. And as a result, we see stars not as point-like objects, but as twinkling points of light. These twinkling stars that we see at night aren't actually twinkling, they're just reflecting the light of the sun. Our atmosphere causes the light from these stars to bend. As a result, they seem to twinkle just like the northern lights. Stars appear to change color because of the same reason. The color of a star depends on its temperature. The hotter the star, the more blue light it emits. This is why stars look white from Earth. But if we had special eyes that could see beyond the visible spectrum, we would see that stars actually come in all colors of the rainbow. Are stars really so far away from us? When we look up at the night sky, it seems as if all the stars are close to each other. But in reality, stars are incredibly far away from us. Let's imagine you're standing in a small town with a population of just 100 people. If you were to walk around the town, you'd see your house pretty much everywhere. You'd think that everyone else lived just as close to you as your neighbors. But in fact, there are some people who live very far away. There are some people who live on the other side of the world. If we look at the stars from this perspective, we can understand that those that appear close to each other are actually very far away from each other. For example, two stars that seem very close together may be separated by hundreds or even thousands of light years. Why don't we see stars falling? Light travels very fast, about 300,000 kilometers per second. So when we look up at the stars, we're actually seeing them as they were in the past. For example, when we look at a star that is 4.3 light years away, we're seeing it as it was 4.3 years ago. Since stars are so far away and light takes time to reach us, we can't tell if they're moving unless they're very close to us. For example, we know that the star Proxima Centauri is moving towards us, because it is part of the Alpha Centauri system, which is only 4.4 light years away from us. But when it comes to stars that are hundreds of light years away, we can't tell if they're moving towards us or away from us. So the next time you look up at the stars, remember that they are much more distant and mysterious than they appear. And the twinkling of stars is not just a pretty sight to behold, but a reminder of the vastness and wonder of the universe. If you enjoyed this video, like and share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing videos. See you next time.